when my people are not sleeping. I mean, if you are cramped in classroom, there are no mattresses, there are no beds. We know typical public basic classrooms, how they are tiny furniture. You can't even sit comfortably, let alone lie. So sleep is really out of the equation. Yeah, we have to work round the clock and try and keep our people alive and safe.
Absolutely. And of course, for us here, we're keeping our eyes and ears firmly on the ground with you all as we monitor how things are progressing. Yesterday, I follow you on X, and I cited a tweet from yourself and also my colleague, Na Ashoko, who was in the area with you. You tweeted about some army personnel being asked, you say, orders from above to leave the area where these affected residents do need their help. Explain to us what happened as you were there, as it unfolded, what you saw and what you heard.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Let me emphasize that what happened yesterday is a reflection of how the plight of my people, our predicament, is being treated by officialdom with unseriousness, with a certain lackadaisical, a certain lethargic attitude. So your colleague Na Shoko, Lydia Forsen, and their friends, they put themselves together to make a donation for mothers and babies in the camp. So this was a specific donation.
That's right.
Donation targeted at mothers and babies. So they called me that they have arrived and that they want me to go receive the items on behalf of the victims, and then we share them in the camp. So I immediately responded, guided them. When we arrived, the soldiers who have been helping us cut these items across the flood waters. Remember that this used to be a walkway. You could even drive to the secondary school. Now it's all underwater. The entire place is submerged, and you can only go there with a boat. So it's like an artificial river, if you like.
Right.
So the military helped us to cut the items. So after 3 hours of the distribution, engagement with the mothers and babies in the camp, when we were returning, there was only one soldier who told us that, well, you people cannot expect to use our boat again because the boat won't come back. I am just waiting to catch a canoe and then go, because there's an order from above that we must withdraw from here immediately and leave town, leave North Town. So I said, how is this possible? Have you given them the situation report? The water levels have not receded. It's still very, very dangerous to move from one end to the other. And you guys have been very helpful. We formed a partnership. I even donated life jackets a couple of days ago. We are working together. So where from this order? He said, I can't talk, or it's order from above. So I said, where is your commander on the ground? He said, okay, fortunately, they are on the other side. They have not fully disengaged and left. They are in the process. So we decided that we'll hurriedly catch a canoe and then cross to the other side. So when we arrived, we got a confirmation of what their colleague on the other side had told us. They were packing the boat. So they came in with 2 boats, and they had packed the first one. They were packing the second one when we arrived. So we decided to capture it on video. And that's the video I put out, where you saw them, packing the boat into their truck. So I engaged their commander, and he told me that, yes, there's order from above that they have to leave the constituency, and they are leaving immediately. I said, how is this possible? Then he gave me some hints that he suspects that it is because of the accommodation challenges as to who pays for it, because NADMO has indicated that they can no longer afford the payment their accommodation bills. And the military high command is also then saying that they don't also have money. They've not been given money for them to stay on. But the order really is that they should leave immediately. So I even said that if they are leaving immediately, then the life jackets I donated, they should give them to the canoe operators so that at least we can have them for the use of people on these canoe. I also insisted on speaking to their commander, the head of the 48th Engineers Regiment, which I did. And then we decided that we will break the news because I told Nashoko that, look, what is happening? This is breaking news. We have to, and I'm willing to grant interviews to this matter because we shouldn't let this slide. We shouldn't just watch them go like that, especially when community leaders have not been engaged. People haven't come down to really see the situation on the ground, and they are just asking all the soldiers to leave. So we did breaking news at midday on TV3,
right?
And then I also put out the post on my social media handle, and in a few minutes, I think after 30 minutes thereabout, the police, the military detachment returned and said they want me to talk to their commander in Accra. He's been trying to reach me, and I spoke to him. And he said, "Oh, the order has been reversed. The people are coming back. So you guys should calm down. They are coming back."
Because that post, when it went viral, if you will, I know we use the word viral quite a lot, but it garnered a lot of reaction because a lot of us were quite confused, quite puzzled by that. Nashoko, I also follow on X. So I saw her tweet. She said, "Breaking news. Military personnel are being asked, orders from above," she put that in quote, to leave the area. And a lot of us had very serious reactions to that because given the state of affairs, we couldn't quite wrap our minds around why that would be the order. Following the conversation and uproar in some quarters, we got wind of that reversal. In fact, there's a press release from the Ghana Armed Forces, and in particular, in paragraph 3, this is what it says. It now says, as of 22nd October 2023, the situation in Mepe has been brought under considerable control, and therefore it became necessary to urgently redeploy some personnel and equipment to other distressed communities around Bato and its environs, which were in dire need of support. That's what we're being told.
That statement is so laughable. It's a total fabrication. There was no deployment to Bato. That statement is full of blatant falsehood, and whoever drafted that statement has not done the military's image any good. First of all, it is not true that the situation in Mafa is under control. Your colleagues were there only yesterday. It's not true. The water levels have not receded. Many people have come, and places that you can walk, they have to use the boat. So it is not true that the situation has been brought under considerable control. Number two, the claim that there was some requirement in Bato is not true. I have been on the ground permanently, and since the release of this statement, my constituents are having such a laugh because the epicenter of this disaster is Mafa. Everybody knows up to now. It's still Mafa. There is no other place in Bato that requires urgent assistance and that you can redeploy from Mafa to Bato. Whoever drafted that statement doesn't know what he's talking about, has not been to the ground. Number three, there was no deployment anywhere. They didn't go and help anybody anywhere in Bato. I was in Bato myself. We have been on the ground. There was no operation in Bato. There was none. Absolutely none. Number three, let me emphasize that the team returned and they now had to offload the same number of boats. And the same number of people returned, the 13 soldiers, all of them returned. Number four, the statement sought to create the impression that some were being deployed. It's not true. All of them left, and we captured them on video.
All of them, you say?
All of them left. All of them. And all of them came back after the uproar. And look, this is a victory for Ghanaians. It is the outrage Ghanaians showed on social media. The anger, how Ghanaians were livid and would not accept the cruelty. That is what made them to reverse the order. These are the facts. So all those things they are claiming in that statement. I mean, look, where is even logic in this statement? Look, so their own statement, their earlier paragraphs, they say that things have returned to normal. There's considerable improvement in Mapa.
That's right.
If that is the case, so why have you come back? Why did all of them come back yesterday in the afternoon after some 30 minutes of outrage by Ghanaians?
That's right.
And why are the same numbers operating this morning? This morning, I've been there. I'm on the ground. I haven't moved an inch anywhere. So what happened? Within a few seconds, the situation was no longer normalized. Things are now worse than they were before they were leaving. They were being redeployed, so-called redeployment. Please, those who draft these concoctions should credit us with some modicum of intelligence. Some basic intelligence. Ghanaians are not all dummies. We are not zombies. We are not yo-yos. We can think. It's so ridiculous. Look, let me emphasize that I have enormous respect for the Ghana Armed Forces as an institution. Enormous respect. But there are clearly some few elements who are being used by devious political enemies, devious political, apparatchiks to tarnish the hard-won reputation of the Ghana Armed Forces. And the majority should rise up and stop these schemes. They shouldn't allow a few misguided politicians to tarnish the image. I mean, look at the statement they've issued. I mean, who conversant with this crisis, who on the ground would say that there's anywhere in this country? NADMO itself has issued a statement. The regional minister has said time without number. That Mapa is the epicenter.
That's correct.
That there's nowhere in this, though there are about 11 districts affected.
Right.
There is nowhere in all 11 districts compared to Mapa. Nowhere. So is the military in Ghana, whoever drafted that statement, where did the person just land from? It's incredible. You see how you embarrass yourself when you decide to just engage in blatant lies. I can't call it any other thing.
Interesting developments there. We're grateful that you're on the ground to speak to us directly. But before I let you go, Honorable, I do want to touch on the issue of the president declaring a state of emergency. Now, over the weekend, I was listening to you on different platforms and monitoring different conversations, trying to ascertain what we stand to lose, if anything, if we declare a state of emergency. From where I sit, I didn't seem to find anything that would be detrimental to us. I know you are a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I know that you've reached out to some international friends and partners in other countries, and for them, what will help them readily release funds would be if we declare a state of emergency. Any idea if that's going to happen? Are you picking any signals and any reasons why that shouldn't happen? Is it still necessary, even after the constitution of an interministerial committee? What are your thoughts, Samuel?
Brilliant question, Helen. Brilliant question. I have also been asking myself, what is there to lose? If you declare state of emergency, what is there to lose? I mean, will we be downgraded? Are we going to be mocked? Will Ghana lose money? Does it affect our pride in any way? Would they take us out of the United Nations? Will we lose our membership of international organizations? I mean, I have been combing there everywhere. And like you, I cannot find a single thing that we lose. Rather, there is all to gain for that declaration. All to gain. The UN system, the international community, all of them are saying that for them to trigger the emergency response and pour in aid, expertise, even in terms of, top professionals who can help us. Because as we speak now, look, I'm very worried about this condition in Mafa. For all these days, the water is not receding. And the water is getting darker and darker, dirtier and dirtier. Doctors are saying that they are now seeing a lot of cases linked to the water touching people, skin infection.
That's right. And we've spoken with health experts this morning. They talk about fungal infections.
Exactly.
Spreading.
So can't we get some expertise, engineering expertise, where we can drain out the water, dredge, and find some other channel, other canal for the water to go? Because this water has covered public toilets, mortuaries, cemeteries. And look, a few days ago, we were all attending funerals. Few days to this disaster, we were all attending funerals and where bodies were being buried in these cemeteries, which are underwater now. So there is nothing to lose. There's tremendous expertise. Look, you have some nations who have been able to even reclaim the sea, reclaim land. You have archipelagos who they have expertise in how to redirect water and all of that. Disaster management experts. So there's nothing wrong in forming international partnership, international collaboration. We all know this economy is struggling. A lot of the funds they are talking about on big sums of money is yet to trickle down, and there's no indication to trickle down to the people soon.
That's right.
So there's nothing to lose. Declare this state of emergency. Everybody will see that you are taking this humanitarian crisis seriously. Then it brings in all the needed bilateral and multilateral assistance. So I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look, the other matter, which is of urgent attention, which urgent attention is required, is resettlement. How long are these people going to be putting up in classrooms? How long? As they continue to stay in these classrooms, as long as they continue to stay in these classrooms, education is disrupted.
That's right.
Because the kids can't go back to school. Our chiefs have appealed that, look, Saglemi is there. Can't they be relocated there so that we free the classrooms for academic work to resume? So there's just apathy, lethargy, lackadaisical approach. I mean, you don't see any sense of urgency. We are not seeing any creative solution. It's rather we on the ground and private donors and private organizations, private firms, NGOs, public-spirited humanitarian people who are doing more to salvage the situation, to help the people. But what you really expect from government that really should take the lead, that should be in charge, of these matters, that is keeping our resources, who we pay our taxes to. We are not seeing that. And it's really troubling. Really troubling.
A lot of different angles to this conversation, and we're exploring it from different angles. And we wanted to get an update from you, especially given what we saw on social media and that press release from the Ghana Armed Forces. And I think you've put the issues into proper context for us. So we'll park it here for this conversation. I know you are very busy. You say you're averaging maybe 5 hours of sleep for the whole week. I'm no expert, Samuel, but I think some more sleep is required. But I know it's very difficult times indeed. Hopefully you're staying well and staying safe. We'll reconnect in due course. Have a great Monday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
God bless.
God bless. And that was Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. He's the Member of Parliament for North Tong, further explaining what his tweets about the Ghana Armed Forces were about. So some clarification there for all of us. He says to disregard what the Ghana Armed Forces is saying, that there was some redeployment to another part of the constituency. It's simply not the case. Gentlemen, interesting there what Okudzeto Ablakwa is saying, that it might have been issues to do with the accommodation and so on and so forth. As at least what we know is that the power of social media continues to be undefeated. A lot of uproar in the various tweets that were put out by Naashoko, our colleague here, and also Okudzeto Ablakwa himself, Honorable MP. And in fact, he had videos. We could see them parking their boats and leaving the area. So it wasn't a case of, a speculation of them leaving. We could see it. But the Ghana Armed Forces says there was a specific reason why that was the case. Okudzeto Ablakwa disputes that. And we've got some clarification on his end also. William?
Yeah, I think the MP had every cause to be concerned about the action of the military, because so far as I know, Bato is also part of his area. And so if they said they were moving to Bato, he wouldn't protest if there was a genuine reason for them to move from Mepe to Bato.
That's right.
That would have served his own interest. And so I would ask, why would he protest if they were moving to a place that would also serve his own people? So genuinely, he knew the situation on the ground and knew that Bato didn't need the action of the military then, but it was Mepe that needed that kind of action, or if you like, support. And so, but it's good that everything is sorted out, the military is back and they are doing what they have to do.
Absolutely.
What I wanted to ask him is, what's the collaborative effort between him as MP and the DC for the area? Because it looks like in all these stories from the places, it's the MP who is leading the charge, but I thought the DC, should also be. I don't know exactly what the DC is doing. I don't know whether the assembly is flooded. Of course, I know, but on his own as a leader, what is he also doing? So we have to just find out. Yeah.
He has consistently said that in terms of the notices that were given by the VRA and this whatever emergency plan was put in place, he said he's none the wiser. He wasn't given a copy. He says he hasn't received any copies of any emergency plan or the action that was to follow.
Everything goes through NADMO. So far as I know,
That's right. Deals with NADMO. Yes.
Their statement said they were handing over everything to NADMO. But I'm saying that the DCE, who is the political head of the area, what is he up to in terms of what is something that I would want to find out. And I always talk about the cultural issues. These are traditional beings. They have the chiefs out there have their regalia washed away. The gods have been washed away.
That's right.
I mean, what is happening in that respect?
Very important.
Yeah. Because
very, very important.
These are people who the least thing that happens, they pacify the gods.
That's right.
And the gods themselves have been washed away. So what's going to happen?
Akin to flooding happening in an area where you have your churches. And if you had a statue of Jesus Christ, for example, that was washed away, that's symbolic to the worshippers there. And it's important.
We're talking about the psychological situation, the mental health of the people. People also have spiritual needs.
That's right.
The churches, if there are mosques, people get solace from these places when they are in some tight situations. And now those places have also been washed away. And so especially my concern is with the gods.
It's important.
Because
it's important.
If you do anything to touch the environment in a negative way, they pacify the gods. But now the gods,
well, they're also not to be blamed. We'll take a quick breather here. It's a good day to have a good day. DJ Abiam is at the head of music affairs, and we'll come back to some more conversation. We'll also activate the phone lines in due course. It's the Voice of the People segment. Today we're heavy in the Volta region and other areas affected by the dam spillage. Don't go anywhere. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Sunrise.